What is up, Finesse family? Hopefully everybody is having a great day today, guys. You know what it is. If you didn't know, guys, it is Men's Health Month. June is Men's Health Month, if you didn't know. So we're going to represent the men today. We're going to try to get the men what they need. We're going to try to get you guys some information. We're going to try to get you some background and some tips for our men to help them as far as keeping yourself healthy, health tips for men, and just something to start with because it's super important, right? Super important. So once again, if you're new to the channel, hola, bonjour to you. Good day. My name is Mrs. B Finesse of millennialfinessemindset.com. And with my background in psychology and criminal justice, guys, I try to focus on educating and teaching you guys on how to have the finesse mindset. And finesse mindset means faithfully innovating, inspiring, being naturally effective, and seeking success every day. And to how to have a mindful mindset, guys, because a mindful mindset is super important. And mindful mindset is just you being understanding of what's going on around you, being able to listen and to make a good analysis from all the information instead of just focusing on what you hear from one person or one thing, right, guys? So super important. Once again, if you are new to the Finesse family and you're new here, thank you and welcome, guys. And also shout out to all the new channel members, guys. I super appreciate you guys that joined the channel. It's super awesome that you guys could be here. Consider joining the channel. You get extra perks, extra videos, extra posts that everybody else does not get to see. So thank you guys for all that, for super chats, everywhere you guys monetarily support, and thank you guys for the comments. Make sure you guys go back and comment on the channel, comment on the videos and everything that you guys see. So without further ado, guys, we're going to try to power pack this into an hour, get straight into men's health with our men's health expert, Sedrek, the inner trainer of LEDR Fitness and Nutrition. Let's get started. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. Let's go. Okay, all right, guys. So we're going to focus today, as far as men's health, we're going to focus on 5 tips for men to help them as far as taking care of themselves. We want to focus and make sure that the men are taking care of themselves and to let them know it's really actually easier than they think. They need to have the different ideas, different help, and have that constant push from men to help each other. So you guys can live a fulfilled lifestyle and be focused, right? So let's get straight into it. Hey, BGH, he is a channel member once again. So thank you. Shout out to BGH for supporting the channel. They say ready to get this convo started. Yes, we are ready to get this convo started. So I'm going to bring our guest up today. We have Sedrek, the inner trainer here. Sedrek, how are you doing today?
Awesome. Me, Miss B Finesse, how are you?
I am doing great. Ready to get into this conversation. Sedrek, my question to you is, did you know about Men's Health Month this month? And do you believe a lot of the men are taking charge of their health before we actually get into some tips to help men?
Well, actually, Miss B Finesse, Men's Health Month is every month. To me, I work with a lot of people, so Men's Health Month and Women's Health Month is on a monthly basis for me, and I think it's very important to, kind of make a month for the men because a lot of us don't really go out of our way to proactively take care of ourselves. The statistics show that women by far go for doctor's checkups and things of that nature way more than men do. So it's very important to take the time to talk about, men's health, these issues, and encourage men to, have their checkups, be proactive in their health, because studies show that men, die, 10 to 12 years before women do. So women have a longer life expectancy. And I think one of the reasons is because they're being more proactive. So it's time for the guys to step up. We're going to talk about that today.
All right. So I'm super excited about it just because, like I said, Sedrek, the inner trainer, we know that women, this is something that's kind of training and ingrained in us because our mothers a lot of times have pushed and taught us this. And the whole kind of mental or psyche aspect of this, as far as psychology, that women are always the nurturers and the groomers. So we are more likely to do these things than men, but it's just as important because we need to have our men. If you definitely want a man, he needs to be healthy for him to take care of his household and you. So I think it is super important that we have these conversations. I think it's super important that there is a push that we focus with men and we focus on the health aspect of men and the mental health aspect of men, and make it something that is exciting for everybody. So we're going to get started on it, guys. Let's get straight into this conversation. It looks like, oh, there we go. We got him back. Let me get straight into it. Sedrek, the inner trainer. We got a little faux pas, but we got you back. Let's go. All right. So first things first, Sedrek, the inner trainer, I want to focus on the biggest thing, I think, and from our conversation we had, I learned from you that the eating healthy is big. And I know there's not really a one size fits all diet that works for every man. So can we kind of talk about the focus on the eating healthy with men, that we know it's not one size fits all, maybe how that kind of ingrains into what you do as far as what you offer, and what men need to limit and get plenty of.
Absolutely, Ms. FINESSE. Well, one of the biggest things that I see with men coming to my practice as far as nutrition and fitness is a very severe lack in fruits and vegetables. Everybody in general, but especially men, need to be taking in at least 2 to 3 cups of fruits and vegetables just as a baseline for your health. A lot of times, when we don't take in enough fruits and vegetables, there's more oxidative stress in our bodies, and that could lead to high blood pressure, heart disease, all those things. And with the added stress of just being a man, nowadays, working hard, working long hours, that stress also affects your body too. So it's very important as a baseline to get your fruits and your vegetables in. You need those vitamins and minerals to establish a healthy baseline for you. And speaking about vitamins, one thing that we can do as men at the bare minimum is to take a multivitamin. That's the least you could do. It's going to take you 5 seconds to swallow a multivitamin, but you're going to be getting a lot more nutrition as far as vitamins and minerals than if you didn't take it. So, I implore men to just take 5 seconds and get a good multivitamin and take that vitamin before you eat breakfast in the morning. This is just a basic thing. I know it may sound very simplistic, but trust me when I tell you, there's so many people that are just not even getting the foundational amount of vitamins and minerals. I mean, if you're feeling tired all day long, possibly you're not getting enough B vitamins. There's a lot of things. If you feel like, you're dragging, or you have, your brain seems cloudy, you may not be getting enough circulation. So, those vitamins help to establish better circulation, more energy output, all those things. So one thing that I can highly recommend is take your multivitamins, and whatever you do, try to get 2 to 3 servings of fruit a day. You're eating an apple, that's going to give you the fiber that you need in a day. A lot of men aren't taking in enough fiber. So what happens is you feel hungrier all day long. And then you have digestive issues because of lack of fiber. So eating fibrous meals, like, salads and things of that nature, fiber is indigestible, meaning it's just going to pass through your body. But what it does, it helps to satiate you so you don't feel so hungry. So if you're trying to get healthier or lose weight, fiber is a must. You're going to see that the more fibrous fruits and vegetables that you eat, the less hungry that you feel. Plus, you're going to get the added benefit of those fruits and vegetables having the antioxidants that you need, the vitamins that you need, the minerals that you need. So fiber is very important. So baseline, a good multivitamin, I highly recommend Synergy 3000. It's one that I personally take myself. It's an awesome vitamin. I have no affiliation with them. I really support them because it's an awesome vitamin, and I've been using it for like 8 years. It's going to give you way above and beyond the vitamins and the minerals that you need in a day. You know, the thing, especially if you haven't been taking any type of multivitamin, I'm telling you, it's going to make you feel like Superman in like 2 or 3 days, because your body's just going to be so surprised that, you know, the impact it's going to have from all those vitamins. Your body's just going to slowly shift. You're going to notice that you're going to have more energy, more vitality, more clarity of thought. So definitely check out a multivitamin. I recommend highly Synergy 3000. It's an awesome vitamin. But guys, take in your fruits and your vegetables, 2 to 3 servings a day. It's going to make a big difference.
Okay. So you're saying eat fruits and veggies, aim for about 3 cups of veggies and 2 cups of fruit a day. You say get enough whole grains?
Well, actually, that's one thing, but one thing that I do want to put a really hard stamp on is to cut back on your saturated fat. That's a very, very important thing to do. And examples of saturated fat, processed foods, lots and lots of red meat, and, high fat dairy. A lot of us like to drink a lot of milk and, eat a lot of processed foods. Hamburgers, barbecue, all those things. You definitely want to really limit that, because if you have a buildup of saturated fat in your system, two things are going to happen. If your metabolism isn't fast enough to process that fat and use it as energy, then what's going to happen is it's just going to get stored on your body. Wherever you're pre-genetically disposed to have fat, wherever your genetic says fat goes here, that's where you're going to have it. Or 2, what's going to happen is your arteries are going to get clogged up if you intake too much saturated fat. So if you feel like tingling in your fingers and in your extremities, your toes and stuff like that, you could have higher blood pressure. That's what happens. That's a sign of having higher blood pressure, because you're consuming too many saturated fats. And that's not a good thing, because higher blood pressure can lead to other things, heart disease, cirrhosis of the liver. Just a really fatty liver is what it could lead to. And you don't want your liver to be fatty, because your liver is where your metabolism is. Your liver is directly related to your metabolism. So if your liver gets fatty, guess what? Even if you are eating like kind of clean, if your liver's not at 100% and if your liver's at 50% and you're eating clean, you're only going to be metabolizing 50% of those nutrients. So you really want your liver to be at its highest function. So we got to cut back on the saturated fats, so we don't have higher blood pressure and, heart disease and fatty livers. Your liver has to be clean in order for you to have a faster metabolism and actually process all of the nutrients that you're taking in correctly. So that's one thing that I would say. Speaking about those fats and eating a lot of red meat, I would like you guys to eat cleaner proteins with less fat. You know what I'm saying? Chicken, organic chicken, if you can, farm-raised beef, grass-fed beef, things of that nature. I mean, the cleaner your protein source, the easier it is for your digestive system to break those things down. And if you're actually weight training or, things of that nature, it's going to be easier for the protein to get to the muscle to build it up. So you really want to focus on very clean forms of protein. And if you're going to do a protein supplement, you want to make sure that's a very clean form too. Now, I happen to be lactose intolerant, so I can't take whey protein straight. So what I do is called an isolate. It's a whey protein isolate, meaning it isolates the protein bond and takes out the lactose. You get everything else but the lactose. Some people don't have the digestive enzyme in them to break lactose down. So, you'll get upset stomach, irritated stomach, bubble guts, all that stuff. So one protein that I would recommend is Isopure. It's an awesome protein. It's lactose free. It's an isolate, and it's a very, very clean burning protein. It's very easy to digest. So for all you fitness buffs or people that are trying to get into fitness or just lose weight, one protein supplement I highly recommend is Isopure. It's very easy on the stomach. It's very bioavailable. So it's going to get to the muscles right away and repair the muscles so that you can grow. And the more muscle that you do have, the faster your metabolism is. The reason being is because muscles are metabolically active. And what that means is they're always looking for a source of energy. So if you give it good, clean sources of energy, they will grow faster. So I highly recommend, a clean source of protein. Definitely the whole grains, those are very important. And most important, I believe, is your water intake. We have to, on top of have to, take in enough water. I don't know if you guys know this, but we human beings are at least 62% or more water. That's what we are. So water is the second most important nutrient. The first is air. If you don't believe me, try to hold your breath. If you don't get that nutrient, you're not here on this earth anymore. You see what I'm saying? So the very first nutrient is air, and we take that in every single second. So there's stuff that we have to take in on a daily basis consistently. Air and water, which is the second one. We don't even really need food to survive. Survive meaning just to have our heart continue to beat and live. But if we don't get enough water, then our whole system gets jacked up. There's a lot of bacteria overgrowth, diseases, because our immune system is too low. Our skin gets dried out and crusty. You don't want to. You got to keep your glow. You get your glow game up, guys. We can't get crusty the Crab looking. You know what I'm saying? We got to stay fresh. But we got to be fresh on the inside and outside.
You telling me, Sedrek, that men should keep a glow, right?
Absolutely. It's very important to keep your glow. It's very important to keep your glow. A lot of men, we feel like, we're just guys, we don't really do much, we don't have to really take care of ourselves. It's very important for men to take care of themselves. If only just for your sake, to make you feel better about yourself. And then it's not even, because when you start eating healthy, the good things that you put in your body will reflect on the outside of your body, including your skin, your mental attitude, and your physique too at the same time. So, all these things are very important as far as like eating healthy.
Okay. Thank you for that. So let me recognize some people that just got in the chat. Guys, if you're just coming in the stream, share this. This is super important. I don't know if you guys know, but it is Men's Health Month, June. It is also Father's Day Sunday. So we got to support the men like they support us. We have to be able to be cognizant of how we need to push these things, because they're super important, because for us to function and lead in life, we need our men, and we definitely need them healthy. So we need to have these conversations and talks about men's health, what men need, how we can help men in their functions of moving forward with fitness and health. And we have an expert here for the conversation. So men, you have any questions, you're coming in. Even please don't think any question is stupid, because I think a lot of times with men and women, a lot of times we think our question is stupid, or it's asked too many times, or we think the question is maybe not as extreme enough as it needs to be, and we don't ask. But as I tell my students, if you don't ask a question, you can't get any help or get the answer. So make sure you guys ask. We have Sedrek, the inner trainer, here for the hour before he has to get back to his fitness and training. So use the information, use this free conversation here, guys. Thank you, BGH, for being here first. You're always here. Appreciate you. Once again, guys, consider joining the channel. He says, get ready for this great convo. We got Aisha in the building. She says, peace and blessings. Hope you and the babies are doing well, Aisha. Thank you for always supporting and stopping by. Gail, thank you so much. We got Gail at Night, guys. Make sure you guys support her. She has an awesome channel. She talks about a lot of issues, especially with men and just health, mental health, period, too. So make sure you guys check her out. And she's my moderator. And so thank you, Gail, as always. She says, please be sure to click the like button. So thank you for that, Gail. I really appreciate your support. So let me reiterate what we've gone over, Sedrek, the inner trainer, so far. You said that we need to eat your fruits and veggies. Men, aim for the 3 cups of veggies and roughly 2 cups of fruit every day. That's super important because those are things from the ground, and that will actually help sustain the man's body and his frame. You said get enough grains, but basically focus on limiting your saturated and trans fats. And we talked about that was processed food, red meats, high dairy. If you can, some of us guys, especially men too, a lot of us, we might be lactose intolerant, guys, and we don't know. So if your body feels some type of way after you eat something, 9 times out of 10, it's not good for your body, or your body doesn't want it. That's the only reason our body does adverse reactions. So please pay attention to your body. It's telling you.
To add to that, Miss B Finesse, just to add to what you were saying, to piggyback on that, for those people with sensitivities in their digestive system, or they break out, one thing that I would highly recommend, which I do take on a daily basis, is digestive enzymes. Those digestive enzymes help to break the food down. So the reason why you can't digest food properly a lot of times is because it's overcooked. So every single fruit, vegetable, and even meat, they come with enzymes in them. So the enzymes help to break the food down so the body can more easily digest them. So if you overcook your food, if you overcook your vegetables, if you're overcooking even your meat, you're burning out those enzymes, and it makes it a lot harder for your body to digest. So if you have digestive issues, or you feel like stuff it's just not even sitting right, it's not going through like it should, I definitely highly recommend that you take a digestive enzyme before you eat, because basically you're giving your body an easier opportunity to break the food down that you're eating. So if you got double enzymes coming in, and then the enzymes that are in the food naturally, your digestive process is going to be easier. The easier the digestive process, the more nutrients that your body is going to be able to get absorbed into the bloodstream, so they can go where your body needs it.
Okay, good. And that's a good, once again, that's a good explanation, because a lot of times we all can, if we admit it honestly, we don't understand what's going on with our bodies, but we just kind of let it go. And what about probiotics for men, Sedrek? What's your suggestion on those? Should men be taking probiotics?
Absolutely. Every human being should definitely be taking probiotics, but especially men too, because a lot of times, we're not taking care of our health, and a lot of bad bacteria starts growing in our intestines. So what a probiotic is, those are good bacteria. So they help to balance out the level of bacteria in our gut. If you have too much bad bacteria in your body, it's going to lead to IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. There's so many things that can happen in your digestive system. Polyps, indigestion. There's so many deficiencies that will happen if there's an overgrowth in bacteria in your gut. You could even have sleep issues and problems because there's too much bacteria in your gut. So definitely taking a probiotic, I would say at least one with at least 20 to 25 billion, as far as the probiotic is concerned, on a daily basis, just to keep your gut health clean. Your gut is where everything very important resides. If your gut isn't working, it's your food processor. If your food processor doesn't work, then you're not going to be able to get the nutrients that your body needs. So we as men need to facilitate having everything that we need in order for the food processor, which is our gut, our intestines, to work properly, so we can get all the nutrients we need. So we're never lacking in energy and everything else. The blood flow is good, is clean. Our elimination and bowel movements are natural, they're not forced. So definitely taking a probiotic would be a very important addition to your nutrition protocol.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Cool. So once again, we talked about the fruits and vegetables, get enough grains. We talked about limiting or eliminating as much as we can saturated and trans fats, get plenty of lean protein, and drink water. Such as the trainer said, our body is predominantly water. All right. So the next topic, Sedrek, the inner trainer, we talked about eating healthy as far as some tips for men's health. My next question is staying active. Now we know that if we got to stay active and we want to stay lean, we can reduce the risk of strokes, other health problems. We can reduce the risk of heart disease. So can you give me some example of things that men should aim for every week as far as staying active, what that looks like, and maybe variations to different levels of how men work? Oh, hold on. I'm sorry, not hold on, but shout out to Peter the Investor. He says, Mrs. B Finesse, salute to you and your guest. Thank you, Peter the Investor. Once again, he is another channel member, so guys, consider joining. And thank you for all the support in the channel so far, guys. Make sure you share this. This is Men's Health Month, June is. If you didn't know, now you know. And these are important conversations we need to have, especially with our community of men and men nationally. So please share this right now on your socials. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure if you're not subscribe to the channel, guys. And let's keep the conversation going. If you have any questions in the chat, please put them down. Any men that have questions, or if you have a question for your man, your husband, ask the question, ladies, and we'll get it answered. All right. So next thing, once again, Sedrek, the inner trainer, can you focus on staying healthy?
Yeah, I think staying active is it's a big deal. It's a very big deal. It's second on the top 3 things that you need to do in order to maintain perfect health. Is stay active. The first is obviously nutrition, is what you eat, but secondly is staying active. A lot of times things break down in our system because of lack of activity. You know, being sedentary is one of the worst things that you can do for yourself. God made us to move around. That's why he gave us arms and legs to move, to lift, to do all these things. So being sedentary, even if you're eating well, being sedentary can be just as much of an issue as far as your health is concerned. So one of my recommendations that I would make is try to get at least, 30 minutes a day in with some type of activity. If you're not a very active person, you just start off with walking. I'll give you an example. I have one of my clients, he had never really been in the gym ever. He was obese, so he was past overweight. And I encouraged him. I said, man, I know you can do this, man. Just give me 1 week of just walking. Just give me 30 minutes of walking 1 day a week. Okay. And I said, I promise you'll notice a difference. So I had him on my nutritional protocol. He followed my nutrition, and then he did walking 30 minutes a day for 1 whole week. We checked back in. He had lost 15 pounds that week, which is good. It was from the nutrition and the walking. But the reason I'm telling you this story is, I said, man, you think you could do another week of walking every single day? He's like, yeah, man, said I'm starting to feel good. So basically that 1 week turned into 3 weeks. That 3 weeks turned into a month and a half. That month and a half turned into 3 months. That 3 months turned into 4 months. And then when we checked in 4 months later, he's like, yeah, said. So I said, man, how much exercise you been doing? He said, man, every single day, ever since you told me. I said, what? I said, you've been exercising every single day for 4 months? I said, I haven't ever did that before in my life. And truth be told, I've never done exercise every day for that long. I haven't. And I've been a trainer for 20 years. So I was very proud of him. So I say all that to say this. When you start getting active, you're going to feel it, and you're going to want to do it. And you're not even going to have encouragement from other people. Once you get that ball rolling, you just want to do it because you enjoy it. You enjoy the way it makes you feel, and you enjoy the health benefits of it. Like my guy walked for 4 months straight, and he picked up on the walks, and the walks got longer and more intense for 4 months straight. So I encourage you guys, just start off baby steps. Just give me 30 minutes a day, but do it every day. because you got to make up for lost time if you haven't been exercising. But you don't have to do it all in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. You're Rome. You know, you have greatness, but you got to take it a step at a time. And then as your consistency is faithful, you're going to start reaping the benefits of just a little bit, because a little bit does go a long way. And as far as strength training, that's another very important thing for me. You see, the walking is aerobic, meaning you're using oxygen and you do it for long spurts of time, and then you start tapping into your fat cells. Weightlifting is anaerobic, so it's short bursts of energy used to promote muscle building. So when you're in the gym, you're not getting big in the gym. You know, you are actually breaking down your muscles in the gym. After the gym is when you start to get your gains, because that's when the nutrition comes in. You're eating your lean proteins to patch up the muscle, the micro tears that you have put your muscles through, which is what lifting is. And then when you sleep, you get enough sleep, that's when you repair the muscle. So you're actually getting bigger after the gym. You're just setting yourself up. You know, the gym is the alley-oop, the setup for the dunk. You know what I'm saying? So the gym gets your body prepped to get bigger. So doing resistance training, I would say at least bare minimum 2 times per week would be awesome. Now, you don't have to start off like the Hulk. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to start off at 315 and you know, bust your grill up like that. You don't want to do that.
Right.
What you want to do, I encourage everybody, do lighter weight with higher reps at first. The reason being, you don't want to get injured. But then secondly, the lighter weight with higher reps is something that you can control. So mentally, it's going to make you feel good to even be pushing up that weight. But then secondarily, when you jump back into the gym, all you're really trying to do is create that muscle memory and re-stimulate the muscle. So, you know, the term practice makes perfect. The reason being is because you're doing things in rote. So at first, you just have to do it over and over again. That's why the higher amount of reps, 15 to 20 reps, even with the lower weight, you're trying to re-stimulate your muscles to remember, you know, what it feels like to have stress on you. So as you progress and get stronger, that's when you start cutting back on the repetitions and increasing the weight. But at first, you want to have higher repetitions, lower weight. So we're just getting your body ready for the big time. So you want to step into this, because if you start with too heavy of weight, you're going to injure yourself and you're going to have more days or months outside of the gym. So start off slow, and as you get used to being in the gym, your body will start to accommodate that by growing more muscle. And then as you go progressively, you add more weight and you pull down on the reps to start really building the muscle. So that's very important too. And another thing that I must preface, before you work out, stretch. A lot of times people don't do that, and you end up just tearing a muscle. You get, you know, you don't want to do that. Yeah, it's very painful. That's going to set you back another 2 weeks. So you want to stretch.
Sedrek, the inner trainer, with stretching before and after, because a lot of people, they'll do the cool down, but they won't stretch before too. And you got a question too after you speak on that stretching.
Okay, yeah. The stretching before and after is very important, but primarily, most importantly, before. You want those muscles to be tender, very tender, like the meat that you choose to put in the air fryer. It's got to fall off the bone. Nobody likes chewing through rough, ruggedy meat. So you want your muscles to be that way too, so they'll be more pliable and ready for all the exercises that you're about to endure in the gym. So stretching before you exercise is very important, and definitely, like Miss B Finesse said, stretch afterwards too as well. So you can just stay limber, and actually that stretching allows more blood to get to the muscle, because when you stretch your muscle, you're increasing the surface area of the muscle, which will allow more blood flow to get into the muscle, and the nutrients in the blood to get into the muscle. So stretching is very important.
Ooh, thank you for that explanation. So we have a question. Peter, the investor, channel member says, to the guest, what is the right balance between the cardio exercise versus muscle conditioning and maintenance? I actually was going to ask you that for men too. So what is the right balance, he wants to know. And I don't know, such as an inner trainer, if you have to break it down for like age groups or a certain size of a man, but to its basic, can you kind of break that down for each grouping of men, maybe in a sense, so men can understand what that might look like?
Yeah, well, those we get into specifics with those, because not every type of percentage as far as cardio and weight training is going to be productive. It just depends on what your goals are. So let's talk about, let's say for instance, the guy's goal is to lose weight. You definitely want to have a higher protocol that involves aerobic, like, cardio. Okay, because cardiovascular exercise taps into fat cells more because it's aerobic, meaning you take in more oxygen, and tapping into the fat cells is going to be a lot easier when you're doing that. So I would say aerobic. I would say what I like to do is I like to do a hybrid of both. In both, lots of people can do this. It's high intensity interval training. If you haven't heard of it, it's called HIIT, HIIT, high intensity interval training. And basically what the premise is behind that is in regular cardio, you do it for 30 minutes, an hour. You do it for long stretches of time. And that's cool too, as long as you do it with a certain level of intensity. But with high intensity interval training, you're doing it in spurts. So say for instance, we're going to do 10 rounds of jumping jacks for 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. You set your timer, do 30 seconds of jump jacks as fast as you can, intense. And then when the timer goes off, reset, you rest for 30 seconds. When the timer goes off again, do another 30 seconds as fast as you can. That type of high intensity interval training, what that does is it tricks your metabolism. So basically you're going fast, slow, and your body's like, what is he doing? So basically what your body's going to do is, to accommodate this new stress, it's going to raise your metabolism. So in doing high intensity interval training, you can in essence manipulate your own metabolism. So I have my clients do high intensity interval training, and with high intensity interval training, it's 10 to 15 minutes. You're in and you're out. So I have my clients do it in the morning. So in the morning, if you can manipulate your metabolism to boost and stay high, it'll stay high throughout the day. So I have my clients do that before they work. So now you're in essence burning more body fat throughout the day by doing that, and it doesn't take long. So for people that are trying to lose weight, I would say high intensity interval training, and I would say that cardio, and I would say honestly about 75 to 80% doing that. And then, just do the weight training as needed, but the cardiovascular is going to be more. I would say more 70%, because you want to get that 30% in, as far as, even if it doesn't have to be weights, it could be doing some type of resistance, like doing push-ups, things of that nature, pull-ups. That resistance stimulating the muscle is going to be very important too at the same time. So now if you are trying to gain muscle, you're not necessarily trying to lose body fat, but you're trying to gain muscle, then it's the total opposite. Basically the percentages are the same. You want to do 80% in the gym, hitting it hard, and 20% cardio. You don't really want to do a lot of cardio when you're trying to gain muscle, because it's going to affect how fast that you can gain the muscle, because cardiovascular exercises are meant for fat burning. But if you do too much cardio, you're not going to have enough strength to get through and do your best when you are weight training, which is going to put you at a deficit as far as your training session is concerned. So if you're trying to gain muscle, you want to keep your cardio like under 15 minutes. I would recommend 5 to 10 minutes of cardio just to get the blood pumping. And then from there, you go hit the weights. You save your energy for pushing up that weight, so we can go ahead and get these muscles stimulated and broken down, and you know, train till failure, so that we can get the muscles broken down, and then afterwards eat correctly to build them back up. And that's how you gain strength and how you gain size. So if you're trying to lose weight, more cardio, you know, 70% cardio, 30% resistance training. If you're trying to gain muscle, 85 to 90% resistance training, 10% to 15% cardio. And the cardio, again, is just to facilitate blood flow. It's not about, you know, fat loss or anything like that. It's to facilitate blood flow and getting the nutrients to your muscles before you actually start your weight training.
Okay, thank you for that. Hopefully that answers your question. Peter Investor, let us know if you have anything else if you wanted to add to that. All right, so if you're just getting in, guys, make sure you're hitting the like button. Share this on your social media platforms. This is something that's evident and important. We're talking men's health here. If you didn't know, June is Men's Health Month. The guest we have here is Sedrek, the inner trainer, dealing with health and fitness. He has his own company called LEDR Nutrition and Fitness, and he is here blessing the live stream today to help men focus on specifics with the men's health. So we talked about eating healthy. We talked about staying active. Now let's get into something that a lot of men find taboo, but let's talk about another health habit that we want to work on, which is like stopping tobacco smoking and then the drinking. So we know men are more likely to be addicted, and I have studies on that too, guys. I want to address later on, but men are more likely to be addicted to nicotine and have higher rates of alcohol use. So what are some recommendations that we want to basically let men know as far as those uses and how they can briefly affect the body? And then we're going to the mental health and primary care doctors after that.
Absolutely, Ms. Beef, and that's one thing. Hey,
Adrian. Sorry.
That men can do as far as those addictions are concerned. A lot of times, those addictions are fortified because we're not taking in the right nutrients. So what happens is you drink a lot of alcohol, you drink a lot of beer. One of the things that happens is alcohol depletes your B vitamins quite significantly. So your B vitamins are the catalyst for energy in your body. So if you're doing a lot of heavy drinking, you'll probably notice that you're more lethargic even on the days that you're not drinking, because now you are in essence at a deficiency in B vitamins, and you have to reload those B vitamins back up. So, you know, heavy drinking is going to deplete your whole B vitamins. Your B vitamins are not only to facilitate energy, but also your nervous system as well. You'll notice that when you deplete your B vitamins after a heavy night or day of drinking, you'll notice that when you don't drink, you start getting the shakes. The shakes is because you're missing a vitamin B1, which is theanine. That's B1. And you're getting those shakes because you have totally depleted your B vitamins. You've urinated them all out, and you have no more. So you definitely don't want to consume alcohol on a regular basis like that. You're not only doing that, but you're dehydrating yourself too at the same time. You become severely dehydrated. And as we spoke before, like I told Miss B Finesse, you're 62% water. So you are literally taking something that you are literally made of and damaging it. If you don't have enough water, all of your functions can shut down. Every single function can shut down, and you don't want that to happen. So you want to stay away from, definitely over consuming alcohol, especially if you're not healthy already. Now, if you're consuming alcohol and you're getting your baseline, like we talked about earlier, all of your B vitamins and this and that and blah, 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 it probably won't have such a severe effect as an effect on you because of the vitamins that you're consuming on a daily basis. But for people who are just trying to get their health right and they're not doing anything to establish their health, they're not taking any vitamins, they're not eating healthy, they're not doing any exercise, it's way more detrimental for those individuals. So I would definitely say, you know, cut it out cold turkey. If not, get to a support group, you know, and surround yourself with people who are going through the same things, and you know, take things that will help to facilitate getting the urge out of you. So say, for instance, a lot of people that eat a lot of carbohydrates, they have a buildup of yeast in their system. And if you're drinking a lot of beer comes from a hop, or, you know, wheat, and that breaks down into it's a carbohydrate that breaks down into sugar. Yeast needs sugar. So if you're used to drinking, even on the days that you won't drink, you might have an urge for it, because that is the sugar, that's the yeast calling out for that. You have an overpopulation of yeast, and the yeast doesn't want to die. So it will send impulses in your body that say, I need carbohydrate. I don't care what type it is. I don't care whether it's a cake. I don't care whether it's a beer. And if you lean towards drinking more, then that's what you'll reach for. And basically what you're doing is, even if you don't have the mentality that you want to drink, that desire will come physiologically from the inside of your gut, because the yeast wants that. So one thing to do is to have, you know, take that probiotic like we talked about, to balance the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. And then another thing to do is to detox. You want to take things like activated charcoal, caprylic acid. Those things help to bust up the yeast inside of you. So you're putting yourself in a better position as far as those physiological desires for a carbohydrate or a drink. Because if you can physiologically kill the stuff that's overproduced in your gut, then that's one way that you can jump out of the fire as far as having those desires. And you know, studies show that if you don't have a desire to do something, you're less likely to do it. So you can actually help yourself nutritionally by eating proper, so you can get all of that yeast and candida out, this physiologically stimulating your body to want more carbohydrate. So that's one nutritional way that you can do it. And then as far as mental capacity and mental state, you want to get around other people, maybe go to AA, maybe confide in a good close friend or family member to help with you, or you know, a man of God, a preacher, somebody that can help you out and give you some spiritual foundation as to why that you shouldn't do it, but also how to avoid it too at the same time. So, you know, those two ways are very important, I would say.
Thank you for that. So we're going to hit on protect mental health, and you kind of hit that a little bit, talking and explaining the connection with the overuse of the substances, and how you said you need to talk to somebody, you need to get the help, you might have to get even something else to detox you too. If you can't healthily detox, you might have to go to a place to do that. So thank you for that. I definitely want to you to get your flowers, because in the chat everybody's, you know, excited, and thankful for what you're saying. Let's see. Adrian says your nerves are fried without the B vitamins. Hey Adrian, haven't seen you in a minute. I hope you are well. Peter the Investor says your guest is very knowledgeable about fitness, does conduct research and studies in his practice. So he's giving you shout out for that, for all that information that you have. Adrian says alcohol seems to be highly inflammatory. Inflammation promotes disease.
Absolutely.
She says detox with dandelion. She's talking about a way to detox. Gail at Night says, ooh, I have active charcoal. It's loose, so it's easy to spill. I think he says to add to water. I have to chug it down due to the texture. And yes, if you breathe wrong with that activated charcoal, I brush my teeth with it, it'll just poof. It'll go everywhere. So you have to be careful with activated charcoal. Otherwise,
it's very, very fine. Yeah, it's very fine. So you definitely have to be careful.
Set the inner channel, you'd be really looking like you snort something with that on your face. If it shoots on your face, oh my goodness, you're black everywhere.
But it works though.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it works though. And then, like one of your listeners said, Miss B Finesse, dandelion root is very good for for detoxification of the liver too as well. So that's another thing that you could definitely take. Also, another good thing to help with your detoxification of the liver is diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth helps with detox of the liver, and it helps with detoxification of that yeast that we were talking about, so that you don't have those carbohydrate cravings. So because basically diatomaceous earth actually, it dehydrates that yeast so it dies off, and then you pass it, you know, when you go to the bathroom. So you definitely want to consume that. The dandelion root and the milk thistle is very good for liver health.
Yeah,
milk thistle is very good for liver health. So like I said, your liver is your main detox organ. You have to make sure that your liver is good and in good health in order for you, A, to get all these toxins out of your system, so you don't have any strange desires for carbs or alcohol or anything like that. And B, your liver is where your metabolism resides. So if your liver is fatty, or if your liver is messed up, your metabolism is not going to be running at 100%. I don't care how healthy you eat. If your body can't break the food down, then you're still at a deficit. So really doing these detoxification protocols is really going to help to increase your metabolism indirectly, because you're getting the fat and all the stuff that's clogged up in your liver. You're allowing your liver to breathe so that it can go ahead and process all of these nutrients and put them where they need to be, and process all these toxins so you can release the toxins. Okay.
All right, cool. Thank you for that. Subject to end a trend. Let's see. We got a countdown, so we got roughly 10 minutes. So let's focus on protecting mental health and the primary care doctor. We're going to squish those together so we don't impede on your time. I just want to give you a shout out now. Thank you for making the time today, Wellness Wednesday, to talk about men's health and how we can help our men stay mentally and physically more balanced. So the last two things, Sedrek and the trainer, protect your mental health and have a primary care doctor. We know mental health is so important. We definitely need to make sure our physical health is where it needs to be, and we definitely need to, I know a lot of men don't want to do this, but they need to try to focus on trying to get a primary care doctor. So can you talk about those two things together? Mental health with men and primary care doctors with men.
Primary care doctors, so important, man. So important. Like we as a fellow male, we go years and years without getting checked up. What we think is, oh man, I can fix it. Oh man, I'll be all right. You know, and next thing you know, prostate cancer pops up. You know, we are so busy doing all these other things in life, dealing with everybody else and all the stresses in life to provide for you, provide for your family, maybe provide for your, even your mother or your father, that we rarely take the time to provide for ourselves. Like if you're not healthy, you can't do anything for anybody else. You can't provide for your family. You can't, build your dynasty if you are in bad health. So it's very, very important to, even at the very minimum, to get your yearly checkup with your full lab panel. That's the least that you can do for yourself. Just think of it as a present to see where you stand, because a lot of guys don't even go back to the doctor. Some of us fellas, man, it's been years since we've been to the doctor. And then see, that's how those conditions, if they're unchecked, continue to grow. And then the next time that you do have to go to the doctor, now you have more things popped up than you initially went for. So I highly encourage the fellas to go to the doctor. It's called preventative maintenance. It's easy to put maintenance on something than it is to fix something that's totally broken. Like it's easier to maintain your car than it is to when your motor blows. And then you got to pay $3,000 for a new motor. It's easier to pay $50 every 3,000 miles for an oil change. You see what I'm saying? So maintenance is, you just have to be consistent, but it's way easier to maintain than it is to replace. So I highly encourage us guys to go ahead and do this for yourself. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for your family, because they need you. You need to know where you stand as far as your health is concerned, so that you can make the arrangements to do what you need to do to stay healthy, not only for you, but for your family.
And how important, Sedrek the inner trainer, is that ideal of mental health. And if our men, can you just kind of spend just a minute or so and let us know honestly that our men are not superheroes, in a sense of that they go through feeling not enough, feeling sad, feeling overwhelmed, feeling like they can't do enough, and that we need to notice those things in our men to help them too, instead of kind of bypassing it, thinking he can cover everything. I know you don't have that much time, but if you could touch on that, and then we'll just kind of briefly do the call to action, because I know you have to go. But I definitely want to focus on mental health in our men, and just your perspective as a man, or what you see maybe in your friends as far as mental health and how important it is to notice these things in our men.
Absolutely, Ms. B. Finesse. Men are naturally wired to be providers and protectors. And so when your sole ambition is to provide and to protect, it can be a very overwhelming thing, because you are in charge of everyone, everybody, and all the situations that pop up in life. You're in charge. You're the one that people are going to point to. Yes, mental health is very important, because men naturally, we provide and we protect, and we have a tendency to stand alone, because we don't feel like sharing how we feel is important. We feel like that is a deficit in some ways. We feel like we're soft if we talk about our feelings and our emotions, and that's false. But I'm just telling you the reality of it. So it's very, very, one thing I've learned, as a 41-year-old man, it's very important to have at least one good friend or a community of friends that you can talk to that are going through the same things. And so you can express yourself, man. Men hold stuff in. We could be very introverted. We could be steaming, but you won't ever know it. We could be breaking down inside, but you won't ever know it, because we have to show strength. That's what we are created to do. But it's okay to show strength, but there's a time and a place where conversation needs to be had. Because if you cannot express yourself, you will literally feel like you're going to blow up inside. So mental health is very important, to be able to express yourself. Men, it's okay to express yourself. Find people that you're comfortable with in expressing yourself. You see what I'm saying? You need that dialogue. You need that release mentally. It says in the Bible, as a man speaketh, so is he. And it says, as a man thinketh, so is he. If you feel overwhelmed, that's going to be your main thought. If you feel stressed out, that's going to be your main thought. You're going to manifest that within your body. You're going to feel angry all the time. You're going to feel irritated all the time. You're going to feel frustrated all the time. Even in happy times in your life when you should be celebrating, like you're going to be thinking about other things. You're going to be, that frustration will just overcome you. It's not so. God created us to feel joy. And God created us to be a blessing and to also feel blessed at the same time. And so it's very important to release that stress. It's like plumbing. Like when the toilet is clogged, that's how you feel. A whole bunch of what is still sitting there. That's how you feel on the inside. And we all know that that's not good, because guess what happens when you have a lot of that sitting inside of you? Just like in the toilet, even if the toilet's down and you can't see it, meaning we're holding it in, you can still smell it. You can still smell it. And you know what that smell is?
Good analogy.
That's your attitude.
That's how you
can still smell it. Absolutely.
Women, are you listening? We have a man that is willing to explain it, and he explained it very literally, how the men are feeling in a way that you can see, smell, and touch. This gross, right? And this is just a touch of men having a space to talk, men being able to say what they feel, and women having the avenue to hear this on a level, safe platform where we can all have these discussions. And I literally appreciate so much you Sedrek the inner trainer taking the time. We got Before the Billions. He says, salute, little bro, BTB. Hopefully you're having a great day. He always supports the Finesse family here. Adrian, oh, she said just stay away from things that inflame you, people, and food. Right, Adrian. Nita Max says, team. She says her team is listening in. Thank you for that, Nita. She says, shout out to Sed. Blessings with health and knowledge. Gracias de nada. She says, shout out to Ms. B Finesse, bringing life-changing topics for all. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. That you feel that way. Let's see. Peter the Investor. Do you have time for this question, Sedrek the Inner Trainer? We got one more question.
Absolutely. For you, Ms. B Finesse,
okay.
We're going to get it in.
Thank you, Finesse family. Thank you, thank you. All right, Peter the Investor says, based on his observation, what's the number one and number two things that prevent people to start and continue working on their fitness and health goals? So what have you noticed, Sedrek the Inner Trainer, with your hundreds and hundreds of clients that you have? What are the one and two top things that's preventing people? So if my restreamers and my Finesse fam hear this, they know, ding, 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 this might be you, and we got to work forward.
Well, I know the top two. One is lack of knowledge. It says even in the Word of God, my people die from lack of knowledge. Like the things that you don't know can hurt you. So it's a very strong lack of knowledge, because you can't go to McDonald's looking for nutrition advice. They want to sell you food. They don't care whether it's going to hurt you or not. The lack of knowledge is very, very important. And if people don't understand, first, what to eat, second, when to eat it, third, like even those two, you're not going to continue with the process because you don't understand what you're doing. Oh, should I do keto? Oh, should I do paleo? Oh, should I be a vegan? It's a lack of knowledge and understanding, because if you do know about keto, paleo, veganism, if you don't understand that all of those aren't meant for everybody, because your specific body is different than somebody else's. So you can't think that you're going to get a copycat success just because your homegirl or your homeboy did it. If you don't understand that, then you're going to be very frustrated when you try something that somebody else did and you don't get the exact same results. So it's a lack of knowledge and understanding, first and foremost. And secondly, it's a lack of accountability. You need somebody standing in the gap with you who has that knowledge and understanding and is able to lead, guide, and direct you through the ups and then through the pitfalls, because we're all going to have pitfalls, but you have to know how to fix it. There's always going to be different issues in life that are going to pop up. We can't be scared of them, and we can't run back when they happen. That would just be like me. I'm on my way to the store because I'm hungry and I need to get something to eat. And I'm walking and I trip on a rock. Am I just going to say, oh man, I tripped on the rock, I'm going back home? No, I'm not going to stop just because I tripped on a rock. I dust my knees off, dust my shoulders off, like Timberland said, and then I keep on walking to the store. And see, people need that accountability. They need that type of structure and accountability that will allow them to stay encouraged during the process. So then when you get strong enough to do it on your own, you will. And you will continue with the process, A, because you understand how it works, B, because you feel better, and C, because now you're held accountable with that information to give to your family too at the same time, so they can be healthy. So I would say it's lack of understanding and knowledge and lack of accountability. And that's what I offer as far as my programs are concerned. I offer knowledge, accountability, and understanding too. You have to teach people how to do this thing called eating right, how to do this thing called healthy lifestyle. It's not natural. If it was natural, then everybody would be fit and skinny and looking good and feeling good with no diseases, with nothing going on. But obviously it's not natural. So just like you go to a mechanic for a car, or you go to a stylist to see what type of clothes look the best on you, you got to go to a nutritionist in order to understand what you yourself need to be eating as far as your specific body is concerned.
Perfect. Thank you for that. So If you guys don't have any other questions, we're going to go straight into the call to action. We're going to preface those things that were discussed. Sedrek the entertainer, do you want me to break down everything, or do you want to briefly just talk about the 5 things shortly, sentence or 2 for each one, and that'll be the call to action. And then we know you're going to have to run, so that will be the show. And we'll try to get you back on. If you guys have any other questions you want from him, send them to my email or message me. And we'll try to get him back on as often as we need, because his health as well. So do you want to break that down? And shout out to Lash and Before the Billions. It looks like they're here. And Adrian, I think I gave you guys a shout out, but I don't remember. But you have the floor, Sedrek the entertainer.
Okay, and then I'm gonna break this down, and then I'll let your listeners know if they're interested, how to reach me and what I do. And all of your listeners, I'm definitely going to offer a complimentary consultation. So if you guys are serious about your health, especially the men, also the women, we'll talk about that. But just to break down what we've discussed on the podcast today, you want to eat healthy. Your 2 to 3 cups of fruits and vegetables. You need those antioxidants so that you don't have internal inflammation. You need the fiber from the fruits and the vegetables, so you have good digestion too at the same time. You want to really limit your saturated fats, because you don't want your veins and your blood vessels to get clogged up. It could cause higher blood pressure, tingling in your arms and legs and extremities. You don't want that, so you want to limit your saturated fat. You want to get plenty of lean protein. You don't want to just be eating anything out there. There's a lot of stuff that they're doing to manipulate animals, and you don't want that. Like if you eat something with too many antibiotics in it, like the fish that you want to eat fish that's wild, not manufactured.
Exactly.
Because what they do,
not farm raised.
Exactly, because when you eat farm raised fish, there's so many fish that they make each other sick, so they have to put lots and lots of antibiotics in the water. If it's in the water, it's going to be in the fish. So when you eat that fish, you're taking in antibiotics, and you may not even need them. So it's going to be a detriment to your overall health. With these pigs and cows, they're shooting them up with growth hormone and steroids. And so if you eat that, then you're putting those hormones in your body too, which you don't need. So it's good to eat lean meat, grass-fed beef, organic chicken if you can. I would highly recommend that. And then drink plenty of water. Like I said before, you're 62% plus water. That's your life force. The 2 most important nutrients that we need is air, which is oxygen, and water, which is H2O. So it's basically oxygen is what we need, but oxygen in liquid form, but the hydrogen molecule is water. That's what we're made of. You'll notice that if you don't get enough water, you're going to feel like crap. You're going to be dehydrated. The processes in your body cannot work and function correctly if you do not have enough water. So the second thing you want to do is focus on is staying active. My recommendation is at least 30 minutes a day, guys. Even if it's just for a short, brisk walk, do some type of activity on a daily basis. Your muscles need to move. You were created to move. You're moving. When you move around, your blood circulation gets better. So if your blood circulation is better and you're eating properly, that means the nutrients go in the blood, and then the nutrients can get to where they need to be. If you move, you must move. It's very important. If you're going to do something, you should do at least 2 sprint training sessions a week. What I suggest is, if you're new to the game as far as fitness, is that you do high reps, low weight, meaning you get on the bench press or the dumbbells or the Smith machine. Do high reps, 15 to 20 reps with a lower weight. Because what you're trying to do at first is to stimulate your muscles. You want to bring that muscle memory back, but you want to use lower weight because you don't want to injure yourself. So the first 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even a month, you want to do higher reps, lower weight. As your muscles get reacclimated to being used, that's when you can lower the reps and raise the weight to start building strength. So again, when you're first starting off, you want to do higher reps and lower weight, because what you're trying to do is activate the muscle through those continuous contractions in order to get that muscle memory back so you can use your muscles properly. And then regular stretching. You want to say stretching before And like Miss B Finesse said, afterwards too as well. Stretching before is very important just so you don't have any injuries because your muscles may be tight. Stretching afterward is very important because as you have done the exercise, and your blood volume has increased. So that's a good thing. So when you stretch afterwards, you're increasing the surface area of your muscle, so that will allow more nutrients to get into your blood after the workout. And then once you consume, I highly recommend that you consume protein at least upwards to before 3 hours has expired. So between 1 to 3 hours after your workout, you want to consume some type of protein to patch up the muscles. Okay, before your body starts to become catabolic. We don't want that to happen, meaning it starts to eat away at the muscles. So feed your muscles after you work out. Very important, with a lean source of protein or a very clean protein shake. 3, we talked about tobacco. We talked about, alcohol and cigarettes. Stay away from them. Excuse me. If you're having issues doing that, get a support crew, get some people that you love, go to AA, and also understand that it's not always mental. Sometimes it's physiological, meaning you have a buildup of yeast from drinking it so much, especially like with beer, that you want to detoxify your system in order to kill that yeast, so you don't have a physiological urge to go ahead and consume the alcohol. You can use activated charcoal, caprylic acid, those type of things to help kill the yeast. And 4, protect your mental health. You want to be around people, especially male. We don't hang out a lot. We don't express our feelings a lot, but that shouldn't be the case because we don't want to be overwhelmed by life. We need to hang around other brothers, other people that we love. We need to hang out with and talk to people. We need to express our feelings. It's very important to do that because we are human beings. We were built to be expressive. We don't want to hold those things in because stress will physiologically it have an impact on your health. High stress levels has a very bad impact on your health. It can cause random things to start happening, lower immunity, heart disease, high blood pressure. Obviously, there's so many things. So mental health is very important. So find somebody to talk to. Even if it's a friend or a close family member, pray, talk to God. He's the one that you really should be talking to. Spending time with God so you can get that peace that passes all understanding. So mental health is very important too. So with that being said, guys, I definitely appreciate Miss B Finesse for having me on her platform. And just to tell you guys a little bit about me again, Sedrek the Inner Trainer, been a trainer for 20 years, been a certified nutritionist for almost 10 years. And what I do at LEDR Nutrition and Fitness is I customize eating plans. So my clients tell me exactly what they like to eat for breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. I cross-reference that with any medical issues that you may have. So I have a medical director that's over me. So we go ahead and pull your labs, look at your labs as far as your weight loss is concerned and see what's going on. And then from there, we cross-reference that with your goals. Hey, Sid, I need to lose 40 pounds in 3 months. Okay, cool. I go ahead and cross-reference all that information and I customize an eating plan that will allow you to eat foods that you're familiar with while losing weight. So if you don't, this is customized. So if you don't like asparagus, I'm not going to put it on your plan because I don't want to twist your arm to eat something that you're not familiar with. Okay, so this is very highly customized protocols specific to your body, specific to any type of medical issue that you're having. That's why our clients do so well. Our clients lose between 2 to 7 pounds per week on average, eating foods that they're familiar with. See, that familiarity will promote lifestyle because you don't feel like you're on a diet. So that's the most important part of this. So we're using science, research, and basically your personality and what you like, and we're mixing it all together to create a lifestyle. We don't do diets, we do lifestyle. So if you guys are interested in that, you could definitely inbox me. Miss B Finesse will leave all the information. I'll be happy to give you a complimentary consultation to figure out what your goals are. And again, Miss B Finesse, I definitely appreciate you allowing me to be on your platform to talk to all of your listeners.
Oh, definitely, definitely. So great information, guys. This definitely has to be a hashtag replay for many of you. Make sure if you care about somebody, as my daughter says, sharing is caring. Make sure you share this with somebody that you love. All Cedric the Intertrainer's information is linked in the stream. It's also in the description. So if you're in the stream, you'll see it in the chat also. And you'll see it streaming at the bottom of the stream. So once again, Cedric the Intertrainer, I want to thank you for you spending that time going over. You went over a little bit, guys. He's actually got a couple meetings he's got to head to. So I appreciate you taking that time, being thorough, even in the midst of the things you have to take care of, because you care about the community, the listeners, and everyone that wants to get their health in the right place, specifically men, guys. So once again, guys, if you want Cedric the Intertrainer back on, let me know. Send me a message or let me know a specific topic, and we'll try to get him as much as we can, because we know health is wealth. It's super important. I really want to thank you for you taking that time. Thank you for all the Finesse fam that came through. Thank you for the Finesse fam. They hit the like button, they shared. Guys, please make sure you are commenting after the streams. Please go back through streams that you missed or stream you're rewatching and comment. Those are important. They're called impressions in the YouTube algorithm, and they help us get shared in YouTube. So make sure you guys do that. And also, if you find that a stream that was important, imperative, helped you, there's a new thing now that they added that's called Super Thanks. And since we're in the partnership program, if there is a stream that you liked, you can go in like a super chat, but on your comment, it'll highlight your comment. So under that video, your comment will be highlighted, and it's kind of like a super chat that's on a video. So once again, guys, thank you for everybody that's here. Thank you, Sedrek, the Intertrainer, Intermittent Fitness and Nutrition. And once again, guys, we have another Finesse video done. Remember, guys, we have the Finesse family here, and Finesse stands for faithfully innovating, being naturally inspiring, and seeking success every day, guys. That is what we do here. I appreciate you guys, and thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you for the super chat, Gail. Appreciate you for that. And everybody have a great day. Remember, don't forget to comment. And if you're on the restream, make sure you comment. Let us know anything that you learned, that you liked, any questions you have. Make sure you put that in the comment section. And once again, Finesse fam, have a blessed day. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Adios.